Back home, 2 SMRT maintenance staff were killed after they were hit by a train along the track near Pasir Ris MRT station this morning. Train services on the east-west line between Tanah Merah and Pasir Ris stations were also suspended for almost 3 hours.
Just after 11 a.m., commuters were told that train services between Tanah Merah and Pasir Ris had been disrupted due to an incident on a track. What they did not know at the time was that 2 maintenance workers, Nasrulhudin Najumudin and Muhammad Asyraf Ahmad Buhari, had died. Now, both the dead maintenance workers were Singaporeans. One was aged 26, the other 24. They had only just joined SMRT in January this year and were undergoing on-the-job training when the accident happened. According to SMRT, the men were part of a team that had gone down to the track to investigate a possible fault. 2 of them were hit by a train approaching Pasir Ris station. Following the incident, the train halted just meters from the station. Some residents saw the bodies being moved from under the train and off the track by officers from the Singapore Civil Defence Force.
I was really shocked and in disbelief because, as I said, why should a maintenance person be on the track when it's working hours for the train? It's supposed to be done towards. So I think the public needs some answers for this, if I'm not wrong. I think it's on everybody's mind now.
Pasir Ris station remained closed for more than 2 hours, reopening around 2 p.m. During that time, SMRT staff was stationed outside to direct commuters to the bus bridging services. With news of the double deaths spreading, commuters had few complaints about having to make alternative travel arrangements.
Something happened, can't be helped.
This one you can't predict, this right now. Can't predict, and then also this one is an accident. I can't help also.
不会很乱啊，他只叫他们能出来也没有乱啊，他们能走出来也没有乱啊。
A police van is believed to have taken the bodies away around 3 p.m. SMRT says it is assisting in police investigations and that it is reviewing all safety procedures, in particular those that involve track access.
At a news conference held by SMRT this afternoon, its CEO Desmond Quek and Managing Director of Trains Lee Ling Wee elaborated on the sequence of events leading up to the accident. An alarm was triggered by a sensor installed in a point machine, a device that helps turn a train around. Trains were running at this point. According to SMRT, a maintenance team requested for permission from the Operation Control Center to access the track. A team of 15 men then went to investigate after permission was granted. They headed towards the point machine, which was 150 meters away from the MRT platform. The supervisor led the team with Nasrulhudin and Asyraf behind him. They were walking along the walkway in a single file, according to SOP, against the direction of the oncoming train. The team was supposed to ask for permission to switch off the power on the tracks when they reached the point machine. This is to stop the trains from moving. However, the accident happened before they could do that. SMRT says the oncoming train was travelling at about 60 kilometers per hour and was slowing down as it approached the station. The train had a driver and was set on auto mode. Investigations by the police are ongoing as to how the 2 men were hit. SMRT CEO Desmond Quek says it is routine to carry out track investigation while trains are running. He outlined the standard operating procedures or SOPs for the SMRT staff to be deployed onto the track.
At the forefront of SMRT's investigation is how the 2 trainee staff were hit by a train when there was a clear line of sight and a supervisor in front of them. The public transport operator was asked why workers were doing maintenance work when the trains were operating.
This is standard. Whenever there is a track fault, regardless whether it is revenue service or during engineering hours, we have to investigate every fault.
Staff, whether trainee or permanent, are all trained on safety issues before they are deployed to walk onto the track. Permission has to be sought first from the Operation Control Center to access the track. This was given to the team of 15 that had been sent to investigate an alarm for signalling equipment. But the two trainees were hit by the train before permission was asked to switch off the traction power.
The power was supposed to be switched off when they reached location, but unfortunately the accident happened before they actually reached the site where they were supposed to do the investigation.
A designated walkway along the tracks is for staff to walk while doing maintenance work. The walkway has a width of 0.5 meters.
This is the walkway where staff that's doing maintenance will walk. And they have been doing this all the time. This is a safe passage for the staff to walk. So the question is, how did these two staff get hit by the oncoming train while they're on this particular walkway? So when we detect a fault and we need to troubleshoot it, the first course of action is to go down onto the site to determine what is the cause of that signal or that fault. And the only way to do so, to get access to the track while service is on, is to walk on the side with supervision and control from the Ops Control Center.
SMRT also said the team followed protocol by walking against the direction of the train. It added it will be reviewing its safety protocols and see how further improvements can be made.
Following the accident, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said, while we understand that faults and malfunctions do happen in our train system, it's different when two young men lose their lives. In a Facebook post, he said whether this turns out to be an unforeseeable mishap, an individual lapse or system problem, we must do our best to ensure this doesn't happen again. Mr. Lee sends his deepest condolences to the families of the two men who were killed. Well, Transport Minister Khaw Boon Wan said authorities will look at how safety procedures can be further strengthened. In a Facebook post, Mr. Khaw said safety regulations must be adhered to amid maintenance work to keep Singapore's trains running smoothly. Meanwhile, Secretary-General of the National Trades Union Congress, Chan Chun Sing, said the National Transport Workers Union is working closely with SMRT and other government agencies to get to the bottom of the incident.
We want to know what happened, how did it happen, but more importantly, what must we do to prevent such an incident from ever happening again. At this point in time, while the investigations are ongoing, the priority for NTWU is to make sure that we provide all the support possible for the two workers who passed away and their families.
Well, Transport GPC member Melvin Yong was at Pasir Ris MRT station after the accident. Mr. Yong, who is also Executive Secretary of the National Transport Workers Union, said the union leaders are reaching out to the families of all affected workers.
I've gone to visit one of the families already. I'm actually on my way to visit the second family. Earlier I've spoken to those workers who are at the scene and to give them the assurance that the union is there to support them if should they need any assistance. It's the same assurance we are giving to the families of the two deceased workers.
Well, the bodies of the two SMRT staff who died in that train accident will be brought home tomorrow morning. Family and friends told us that rites will be performed at mosques and near their homes before burial. A childhood friend of Muhammad Asyraf Ahmad Buhari told us that the 24-year-old was a cool and humble person. He had celebrated his 24th birthday on Sunday. His friend said Ashraf had started working at SMRT since January this year, and today was the first time he was out on site. His body will be brought to his aunt's house at Kembangan tomorrow. Meanwhile, family and friends were seen entering the home of 26-year-old Nasrulhudin Najumudin at Tampines Street 12. Both his elder brother and father are also SMRT employees. 938 Live spoke to one of Nasrulhudin's cousins.
Nasrul is a very jovial person, so we always have a lot of laughter when we are around him. For me personally, I grew up with him. We grew up since we were in the same primary school. We were in the same class. So for me, it's something that really affected me. I had to leave work because I was really crying. For me, I think it's really sad because I know for a lot of us, we were very happy for him when we heard that he got this new job.